Welcome to This Week in Creating Miah. I'm your host, Chris Spangle. I'm here, as always, with, obviously, Miah. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Excellent. This week, we're going to do something a little bit different. You've talked in previous episodes about Lisa Corbett, and Lisa is the person doing your laser treatments. And from what you've told me, laser treatments are actually a pretty important part of your transition, correct?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it's taking the male body hair scenario and completely getting rid of it, at least for a short period. It's not necessarily permanent, but yes, it's a huge step as far as making the whole idea of transitioning a lot easier.
And you look very smooth. There's something different about you today where you look smoother, and it looks like, well, you may not know this, but when your wife wakes up without makeup on, that like weird look in their eyes, that's sort of what you look like today.
Yeah, I guess you could go with that. No, it's a coupling of the laser hair removal, getting rid of the extremely thick, coarse, dark hair in my face, and the hormones doing their job, really softening up my skin. So it'd be kind of a couple bits of everything.
So what do you and Lisa talk about as you did your first interview ever? I was very proud of you.
Oh, that was trouble because she really didn't want to do it.
But you're loaded, so meaning with firearms.
I guess you could say I'm loaded in other ways too. No, we talked about a little bit about her business and what she's wanting to do, and why she sought me out through a mutual friend for me to come in and work with her a little bit on expanding, I guess, her business into specifically the LGBTQ community and more so into the trans community. A little bit why she was thinking that way and, what's happening there.
All right, well, enough previewing. Let's get to it. Here is Miah interviewing Lisa Corbett.
All right, hi, everybody. This is Miah with CreatingMiah.com, and I'm here with one of my good friends, Lisa Corbett, and she's the one that does all my laser hair removal for right now. I've gone to 2 treatments total, 2 on my face, and 1 whole body I just got done doing, and let's say that was exhilarating. But we're here, and I want to give her a chance to get her name out there and her business out there to everybody, because she's been very, very open, very kind, and very accepting of me being trans, and it's been just an absolute pleasure to deal with her. I'd like to let her explain a little bit what her business is, what all she does, and we'll find out a little bit more why she wants to reach out to the LGBT community and specifically the trans community.
The services that I provide here at Corbett Laser Skincare are always a free consultation, toenail fungus, age sunspots, spider veins, tattoo removal, hair removal, and skin tightening. I would say hair removal is probably one of my favorite treatments that I do. It makes people feel so good about themselves. It's kind of a long process. The average treatments are 4 to 6 treatments, and they're anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks apart. Hair removal for the facial area can be a little sensitive. It would probably hurt just a little bit more than the rest of the body, but I would describe it as a rubber band kind of snapping. It can get a little irritating, but I work at everybody's pace. I can go slower or faster.
You kind of sought me out through a mutual friend that you kind of wanted to get and reach out to the LGBT community. And you were very open to the idea, and it's not like this was a marketing ploy or something, but you just wanted to put yourself out there as you're open to that. Was there a particular reason, or is it just that you are just an awesome, good, caring person, or did you maybe think that that community might be, there's a lot of judgment and a lot of this and that, and you just saw yourself as an open person, decided, hey, I need to let these people know I'm here and I'm an ally?
Absolutely. Good point. When I worked at a Medi-Spa, where I was before I was here, I noticed that oftentimes it's not very private. You go in, you talk to the receptionist on the phone, and then there might be another person that you talk to before you actually get to spend time with the person that is doing your laser hair removal. And I noticed that sometimes that makes people uncomfortable. And when I decided to open my own office, a big part of what I wanted to accomplish here is that you come to the office, you deal with one person, and that's me. And you talk to me about what you want to accomplish. We work on your goals. and I want this to be a great experience, and everything is obviously always confidential. I'm very comfortable with the treatments. I'm a mom, I'm a grandma, I've been around for a while, so there's no uncomfortable level at doing a full body hair removal treatment.
And I can attest to that because I just had to get naked in front of a stranger. Well, not a stranger, but even no, that'd even be easier. Like I had to get naked in front of somebody that I kind of know. And so, and even before I started transitioning. So, and there, I'm not very comfortable with that. I'm very shy. And this was just an amazing experience. It was just so professional and just so, she goes at everybody's pace. She's very, very nice about everything. And just professional, I just want to keep using that word over and over again because it fits so well. We're going to keep playing this and we'll play some stuff for her. You'll probably see a banner ad or something show up on the website just because she's a local business, a local friend, and she's just doing such a great job. And the fact that she wants to be an ally as a business person to the LGBT community is just phenomenal. That's something you don't see a whole lot of. She's gonna work with me on creating a little package for special friends of Miah. They get a nice little discount off any of her package price or any work you may want to do, and that'll be something that everyone can kind of deal with. But if you ever want to use her services, tell her Miah sent you, and you will get a special deal. We'll just put it that way. You'll get a special deal.
Another service, I actually have an aesthetics license, and so I've had quite a bit of training in makeup, and I love makeup work. Can help anybody with that. I'm very good at eyebrow shaping because with the lasers, we cannot use the laser that close to the orbital bone around the eyebrows, and so if you want permanent hair removal, you're looking more at electrolysis for that. Or I can do waxing, and I do beautiful eyebrows for waxing. Another suggestion would be what I've thought about with talking to some transgender counselors and therapists and the medications that people are on. I like the laser hair removal better initially instead of electrolysis because with electrolysis, you're using a needle for each follicle, which can be very time-consuming and very painful. With laser hair removal, we're about an inch diameter that we're using, and so we're knocking out several follicles at one time, and so it's a faster process. A full-body laser hair removal treatment lasts approximately 2 hours, and so I think it's a great way to get started on the hair removal. And then if you have some areas that just won't go away with the laser hair removal, then we can look at electrolysis to clean up the areas with that.
Right, and that's what you talked to me about. And I'm going to end up doing a before and after photo piece as it goes on, and I actually have enough photos to actually make that make sense. But after the first treatment on my face, the amount of hairless spots was just absolutely amazing. It wasn't a pretty look at all, but it's going to be worth it with how quickly as it works just after the first treatment. And then the whole full body thing, it hurts a little bit. I'm not going to say that it doesn't hurt a lot, but if you're trans and you have body hair, you would be willing to do just about anything to get rid of all of it. So it's that amount of pain that it's just worth it to have this happen. And so you did mention that you do makeup and hair or the eyebrow shape and everything else. So you would probably if someone of the trans community came in here, you would be a good person to ask advice to, as far as maybe primers and maybe tips and tricks, and you might be able to help people with that. And do you have product here, or do you how much of that business do you have going right now where you're at?
I don't have retail products that I sell for makeup right now, but I do have all kinds of clean skincare lines that I sell the products for. I can bring in my own makeup kits to do makeup lessons, and I've been taught to contour the face, and it's fantastic what you can accomplish with really bringing those cheekbones out and contouring your face with just a little bit of work with makeup. It's amazing.
You could do makeup lessons or little classes on makeups and things like that, and some of the stuff that you're not going to really learn just trying to do it yourself or having maybe one of your girlfriends help you out. Because if my past dating experience with girlfriends is any indication of how good women are at putting on makeup, then yeah, I wouldn't look to friends to help you with that. you're putting it out there that you could help with makeup and training and things like that. So if people wanted to maybe do, come get laser hair removal also, you can talk to them about makeup. And so you're very open to helping educate people and really, just make sure everyone really enjoys what they're doing. And you love seeing people transition. You like seeing people grow and feel better about themselves and everything else, right?
Absolutely. That's I love what I do for a living. I'm so lucky that I get to enjoy what I do for a living. And the biggest part of what I enjoy about my job is when people leave my office that they're happy. They feel good about themselves, and we've accomplished a goal that you're looking forward to getting accomplished.
Well, I know how happy I am after the first time I left, and after seeing the results, and after going to leave today, I'm just going to be giddy with excitement. I haven't slept for 36 hours, and I'm beaming. It's amazing. I just felt like I drank like 10 Red Bulls. Thank you, Lisa, for taking your time to do this with us, and hopefully we can get you some more business and make sure that you can continue doing what you love and helping other people in the process. And so this was, we're talking here with Lisa, and we're going to have her go ahead and go over her info again so you guys can easily contact her, and here she is.
Alrighty, the website is CorbettLasers.com. That's CorbitLasers.com. The phone number is 317-837-4944. And my office is in the Yeager Properties in Plainfield. It's a pretty neat building. It's considered a contemporary design. There's several other businesses in here. In fact, I have 3 counselors right down the hall from me, and one of them specializes in transgender relationships. And so we have a great network of businesses in this office building, and I think you'll find it very comfortable here. And the phone number again is 837-4944, or you can shoot me an email with any questions at Lisa, Lisa, at CorbettLasers.com. Thank you.
Good interview. You might have a future in podcasting.
If you're the example of what my future is, I accept it.
How dare you? All right, so do you feel differently going out into public feeling smooth and luxurious?
Yeah, it's a trip because, with as coarse a hair as I have, it's kind of difficult to shave every day without looking like I was attacked by rabid rabbits. With the idea of that I'm not going to have to worry about facial hair and the 5 o'clock shadow and then wearing, 3 pounds of, concealer and makeup and everything, it's a completely different feeling. I don't feel like I'm hiding or I need to hide anything. Not that I should in the first place, but it's free. It's completely, it feels more natural to be out in a more, feminine persona than previously.
What are you having lasered?
Well, I went in for the first one and just had my face hit, and now it kind of looks like I have mange. But I just went in and had the face and a full body done. So pretty much every last square inch of my body except my eyebrows, my head has been hit with a very painful laser. Which
does that mean?
Everything.
The taint?
Everything.
Oh, God. I hope you tipped her.
I gave her a couple bottles of mead.
Could you please explain what mange and mead are? This is the 21st century. It isn't 1642.
True. Mange is something animals get, or let's just put it simply, it's when it's very patchy hair on an animal where there's bald spots from various different reasons, and so it's real patchy hair. Mead, M-E-A-D. It's a alcoholic beverage derived from fermented honey.
So what is the most painful part of the body to get lasered?
Well, the face I still think is the absolutely most painful because it's so thick, and your face is sensitive anyways, but it's so thick and coarse that she has to go so very slow, and I have a stupid high pain tolerance, so she did that, and it's cringy, painful. But I'd say the next worst spot would be armpits, because again, it's another place where it's coarse, thick hair. Everything else is manageable. It kind of depends on how far you might be along in like a hormone regime. Is that if your skin's softened up and really got more sensitive, which I've noticed a difference in from the first time to this time to just noticing differences anyways, is that the laser hurt a lot more than I think it would have, 4 months ago before we started hormones. So it kind of sucks, but for the most part, face and armpits.
So how often do you have to have this done, and how many times is it going to take for your face to stop looking mangy? I mean, there's not really much we can do about that nose, but what about the mange? How long is it going to take?
Oh my goddamn nose. Usually 4 to 6 treatments is what she was telling me. Is that how long it usually takes to really get it all gone? The first one, my face got real mangy because it's the first session. The second one, she did a lot more. And so after about a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, when the hair's pushed out and the follicles don't regrow, it should even out a little bit more, and I'll kind of look like somebody from like Norway or something with no facial hair. But everything else, with as far as the body and the legs and everything else, you have to hit the growth cycles, and it's 4 to 6 week cycles, and so you got a stair step thing. So there can be a 4 to 6 week lag time in between your sessions, and that's so you hit the growth cycle. It's all kind of sciencey, fancy stuff, but it's the best way to do it, because a lot of people talk about electrolysis, and it's like that's literally taking a needle and pushing it into every hair follicle. That's insane. The only reason I'd ever do that is for my eyebrows. Other than that, that's just no, hell no. With laser hair removal, it's not necessarily permanent either. But the reason it's so good for people who are transitioning is that you can basically help the hormones along, because it takes quite a bit of time for hormones to kick in to really affect your hair. I mean, you're looking, from what I've seen, most people are saying a year plus before you see any real effects to hair. You do laser hair removal, and all your hair is going to be gone for a year or two or so, because you're coupling it with the hormones, and it may never come back, especially not to the extent it was before you started the transition.
Is it expensive? I mean, does it cost a lot to have this done?
I'm not going to necessarily say any of her prices right now. She's still working on, building that package that we talked about, specifically for full body stuff, because she took a look around the, greater Indianapolis area and didn't see a whole lot of good pricing, fair pricing, or packages especially for, what other people, trans people would be going in for. We're talking full body. Well, that can get very expensive, but with Lisa, she's has very fair pricing, and she's going to have my special little discount like we talked about. And then it's worth it, though, because when you think about the amount of time it takes, the frustration of, guy's hair, it's thick, it's coarse, if, that's the kind of hair you have a horrible time with it growing back in crazy, and it just, the red and the everything else. And then you've got, you got to pay all that money for the razors and everything else in the time. So in the long run, and the peace of mind and the lack of shadows, it's worth every single penny.
Lack of shadows, what do you mean?
Like the 5 o'clock shadow. It shows up through everything. If you have dark hair, it's going to show up through everything. I mean, I can shave my legs and you can still tell there's dark hair there. There's no getting around that. It's so dark it's there. Now that's another thing, is if you have light, fine hair, even as a guy, laser might not work super well. The darker your hair, not necessarily black, the auburns do really well with the laser. Darker, coarser hair, it works a lot better. So doing laser hair removal early in the transition is actually better than doing it later in the transition.
I think it's cool that she's trying to reach out to the trans community. Is that atypical? Is that something that is unique for something that she's trying to do?
Yes, because it's kind of the medical field-ish. I mean, it is. I mean, it's some advanced stuff, and you have to have the proper training and everything else. But I couldn't imagine going anywhere else and getting a full body anything, or even coming out as trans to the people I go to. If I went anywhere else, I mean, it's, we've got the north side up here, and they're a bunch of uppity schmucks, and so I couldn't imagine going up there and them being acceptable or accepting. But Lisa, she's just a good person. She's wanting to reach out to the community to make them feel better, and she, it's still a business thing. She's finding a niche, and she's trying to go after it, but for all the right reasons. She doesn't like other people she knows in her own career field. They're just they're pricks, and so you can feel very uncomfortable as a trans person going and undressing at all in front of other people. And so it's one of those things where some people don't want to venture out because that's a big thing. But with Lisa, she's fully out there already telling you she's accepting, and she's okay with it, and she wants to help. So it's it's not something I think you'd normally see. I mean, most people don't cater to the trans community. I mean, some therapists do and some surgeons and stuff like that, but for the most part, we're kind of left out there as a, an unreached niche that no one cares about.
Well, and I don't know how much of a percentage it is as far as the population, but if you're a business, you want to reach as broad of an audience as possible,
Yeah, you could say that, but it depends on what kind of product you've got. I mean, you don't have to just cater to one community, but you find people that are going to use your service. So, like in the case of laser hair removal, you got, older women, not old, but for one thing, you got some older women that doing like the mustache and all that stuff, when menopause and all those issues. Then you've got, she actually talks about there's a lot of bald people that go in and just get the rest of it or get it shaped. I had no idea. So there's a lot of different things. Some people hit just like their Brazilian area or whatever. So, and you're catering those people. That's a whole, crazy market of its own. But reaching out to the trans community outside of using lasers, you can make money because we're so left out of it that if you cater to the trans community, you're going to get business. You're going to get a lot of business. But with the whole LGBTQ thing, if you're an ally of any one part of that, you're a hero and you're going to get more business.
All right, so let's wrap up. What do you want to say finally for this week?
I hope you guys keep listening. Give me some feedback. Let me know you're listening. Thanks for listening if you are. Definitely, if you are in Indiana or the greater Indianapolis area or don't mind driving, do check out Lisa Corbett. Her information will be in here. But definitely check her out. She's a great person. She does a great job. And I think we need to, as a community, I suppose, is very, very largely support anyone that supports us. Really make sure that it's not just us going to them, that we support them in everything we can. I plan on doing something here in the future, going out and finding any LGBTQ friendly businesses and any businesses that do cater to the trans community and promoting them with every last thing I have. I mean, we've got almost 5,800 unique visitors as a site in the last 3 weeks. I plan on getting people out there and helping anyone that's wanting to help us. So thanks for listening. Check out all my other blog posts and other podcasts. They're going to be just as entertaining as this one. And like I said, thanks for listening.
All right, thanks for listening to Creating Miah this week.